Why'd you send me rockets when I asked for agents?
For guns. Oh, it rhymed, but alright.
It's funny because Anderson's the only one with a gun right now.
I mean, in the picture. Oh shit, in the game
No,
too.
yeah, in game too. All right, now it's showing up as live on mine. All right, welcome back everybody to. Jesus Christ.
That's a cool game name.
How do you
like
spell
fun.
it?
I started to say
That's a
voices
cool
in the
game name.
wilderness is the bad part, and that
Sounds
as
like
soon as I
fun.
realized, wait, that's the wrong thing to come out of your mouth.
That's a cool
Fix
game
it,
name.
fix it, and then my brain just went.
Welcome to Voices in the Midnight, the
That
sexiest
or you-
show. on Game.
Welcome to the Shield Against Midnight, a 7th edition Call of Cthulhu game set in 1969. It used to be about CIA agents, but things got kind of fucky. When last we left our intrepid group of Delta Green operatives, they had made contact with their new handler in a secluded ranger station up in the upper state New York. The meeting went exciting. Well, it wasn't particularly exciting until some sort of elder horror showed up and began mind controlling members of the party and causing a lot of havoc. Somebody nearly died. But through some ingenuity and siphoning gasoline out of the generator, our party blew up the meat walking thing and have decided to hop into vehicles and get the fuck out of Dodge.
We're going to a spaghetti place, right?
An Italian
They have
restaurant,
breadsticks.
An Italian restaurant.
not a spaghetti place.
Same deal.
I mean,
We're going to an
No.
Italian restaurant. It's not a spaghetti place. It's a spaghetti palace.
it's
We pull up, it's just the spaghetti place.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
The
continue.
"the" it makes it important.
Oh my god. All right. Without further memes, let's return to the world, the Shield Against Midnight. So, I know it's been a couple of weeks, guys, but as I was saying, last we left off, we were going to split up between Ranger Manson's vehicle and what was the other car that was going to have people? Who was actually driving a larger car?
It was
Was it Parvana's cab?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess Alvar's car is just getting left there.
eh,
I mean,
I think you said you didn't want people to. Well, your character said they didn't want people in Alvar's car.
Yeah, Gwen very specifically stated she didn't want people in her car.
that's fine, but like, they could be in their own car. I don't know if it's important that we all squeeze into someone else's vehicle.
Well, Ranger Manson was pretty insistent that we stick together just in case there's more trouble.
Okay.
That being said, as you start piling into the car, why doesn't everybody go ahead and give me a listen check?
Oh my god. What the fuck is going on?
Hang on, I've got 2 more fucking characters.
Oh, shit, which one?
Oh, I hear everything. Yes.
Either button works.
This
Uh,
dog is stupid.
Why are
my
we
god.
doing 90s and 9s?
Jesus Christ.
We
Okay,
didn't
so
roll out the 100s well enough.
There is no middle ground. You
not.
fail
Son of a
horribly,
bitch.
or
No, Alvar is the middle ground.
holy
Dumbass.
shit.
Sage hears fucking everything.
Sage,
Okay.
save us.
As you start loading up into the car, Gwen, not really paying attention after the traumatic events of last a couple weeks ago, trips over Rocket and falls flat on her face. Both her and Rocket take a single point of damage since they both fucking fumbled.
I am okay with that because of how ridiculous that was.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, is a 96 a fumble?
Yes.
Well, on a 50, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's hurt now. All right.
All right, so Parvana and Angie. None of you really put any thought into this, but as sort of night has settled, the sun's disappeared beyond the horizon, and you're washed in darkness. You realize that you don't hear anything, and most of you don't think anything of that. You know, no news is good news. But Parvana, Sage, you don't hear anything. You're in the middle of a forest at night. There would be something happening. There would be birds in the trees communicating with each other. There'd be flies buzzing around, irritating you. Maybe even mosquitoes starting to come out from hibernation. You hear nothing. There is no sign of life in these woods save for you and your companions.
No lightning bugs?
No lightning bugs.
So we can look and see that there is nothing, like as kind of like no insects, nothing flying about.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like sound is being suppressed. It just seems like there's nothing here.
Yeah.
No, well, we're in the forest, so we're expecting to hear animals of some kind.
Right.
So
And you just hear nothing. That being said, you can obviously hear, people getting in the car. You can hear the engine starting up. It's not as if you're in like a bubble of deafness or anything. It's just there is nothing but you in this area.
So if there's no lightning
You have
bugs,
no
that means
idea,
there's literally
Anderson.
nothing.
You have no idea, Anderson. You failed your listen check. Shut up.
But I can see.
could I do a spot hidden check?
Yeah, absolutely.
You did? Okay.
You can go ahead and do a spot hidden check.
Oh, bullshit.
Would you like to push that or spend luck?
Not worth it.
Might be worth it.
Not worth it.
Because it's such an extreme darkness, I
It's
know
not
there's
that
something
extreme
wrong.
of darkness.
I mean that quiet,
Okay.
just us. I'm gonna know that something's up. I'm gonna take another look around because that is just strange.
I'm going to take this point to say that Parvana is driving, so she is going to do a spot hidden as well.
Yep, go right ahead. All right. Sage, you don't see anything.
Parvana's
There's
eyes
nothing
are
to see.
Parvana's eyes are glued to the road.
Yep. Now that being said, who's going to be riding with Ranger Manson and who's going to be riding with Parvana? Because each vehicle can only fit so many people.
I'll be with Parvana.
Okay, so that's one for Parvana,
Manson.
one for Manson.
Manson.
Whichever car has room for a giant man, a girl, and a fucking dog.
That's probably going to be the Jeep.
Jeep, sure. All right.
Beep, beep. It's a Jeep.
Okay. So most of the party is up front, or behind Parvana in the Jeep. Parvana, you're going to be taking point. Manson would be pulling up behind you, knowing that you're the better driver, plain and simple. That being said,
Anderson and Emilio argue about potatoes and best way to cook them.
Noki!
I don't care about this. No. Yeah.
Well, patate. Flat, mashed. What about that?
Ah. Latkes are better.
Eh.
There's
Why
a
do Americans
different
have
car
to
than
fry
Sage,
everything?
right?
Do you have a problem with frying?
No, it's just everything. You gotta fry everything. Potatoes are good as they are. Chopped, mashed. Why you gotta fry it?
Stick them in a stew.
Let's try not to go that far.
Anderson just gets mad.
Okay. Parvana, Sage, are you going to let the party know about what you don't hear?
There's yeah.
Actually, as I get in, I'm going to be talking about it with Parvana. I thought that was so strange.
There's nothing here.
There was I didn't see anything, and yet we were in a forest and it's completely quiet.
It's. I half wish we could ask the forest ranger. Well, no. We don't need expertise. This is already strange enough.
That it is.
Can we ask that Manson also do a spot hidden or a listen check?
I succeeded on mine.
But you're not in the same car, or you're not in the Jeep.
Actually,
I
that
don't
is
know if
a
we can.
fair point.
Parvana and oh my god, I'm sorry,
Sage.
I'm having them up.
Let's see here.
Because the forest car is gonna have no idea what's going on because no one is paying attention because people are arguing about potatoes, and the only person who has a gun is in that car. So
You up in the Jeep, you see Manson sort of fumble with the keys, the car starts, and he leans out the window with his upper body as if to kind of check why Parvana's not already heading down the road, and then he stops before he can say anything and just furrows his brow before pulling his head back into the car. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Listen. And now that he's called attention to it, all of you in the Jeep hear nothing.
I don't hear anything.
Exactly. You ever been in the woods before?
Yeah.
You always hear something. This isn't right. We need to get the fuck out of here. At this point, he leans or taps the horn twice towards Parvana and flashes his high beams.
She'll kind of respond with a horn and then start to speed up.
Okay. You all would start down basically the road you came. It'd be the quicker path back to the highway. And it's dark, but your cars work fine. You've got headlights. You're both experienced enough drivers. This isn't going to take a driving check. I am going to request a spot hidden from Parvana, though.
Oh boy.
Success.
As you start rumbling down this road, you are heading, I would say you're heading pretty quickly, right, Parvana?
Yeah, she pretty much took that to mean let's get out of here because she has the same nervousness hearing nothing.
Yeah. You see sort of a glint in your the high beams, the headlights reflecting off something before it fully comes into view, and almost surprisingly, you realize that the sheriff's cruiser that had delivered Emilio is in the middle of the road, and that there's a tree lying across its hood.
can I ask why a car in the middle of the road required a spot hidden?
Because it's dark
Oh,
and you're traveling fast,
okay. Never
and
mind.
and you could have run into it if you'd failed. But that being said, you see it with plenty of time to come to a reasonable stop because it is blocked. It's basically one of those little backwoods roads. You do not have the room to maneuver around this car.
She in turn will kind of give some horn to kind of let Manson know, and then slow to a stop.
Anderson's gonna mutter, and she's gonna be like, "Can we stop with the horns?"
Manson ignores her and kind of just like, what the fuck? Before kind of craning around the side so he can look around the taxi in front of him. Oh, shit. And calmly rolls to a stop behind Parvana's cab. Anderson, you've still got that gun, right?
Anderson cocks the gun. Yeah.
What'd you do that for? You ejected a perfectly good round. You
You're
don't
not
need
wrong.
to hit the charging handle just to prove a point.
Anderson picks up the the round.
Just puts it back.
Yeah.
Manson shakes his head and kind of grabs one of the Molotovs that he brought with him. Emilio, you, me, and Anderson, we need to go check that out. We're the only ones who are really armed right now. Gwen, Alvar, stay with the car. If you hear anything, just lean on the horn.
Glenn just kind of grumbles something, and then when they get out of the car, she kind of wiggles up into the front seat so she can actually do that.
Quick question for Locus: is the glove box gonna have one of those glass breaker like things in it?
You could look for one.
Anderson's gonna look for one then.
Give me a luck
Um,
roll. Yes, it's got actually one of those spring-loaded hammers with a pin. Great for breaking glass.
Anderson hands it to Gwen and is like, "I know this is a shitty weapon, but it's something."
Doesn't she still have a claw hammer from when they were at the cabin?
Yes, she does.
She just kind of looks at this glass breaker and goes, "You know what?
Actually, Gwen, why don't you give that to me? That's the sheriff's car. He might still be inside. That wreck didn't look good.
Yeah, you're right." She hands it off to Alvar.
No, that was Manson.
Fuck. All right.
Sorry.
The other generic NPC voice. All right.
Emilio
She hands
steps
it
out
off
and
to
kind of fixes his suit and flips out his knife. All right, what the fuck we doing now?
All right, Anderson, you take point. And at the same time as Manson says this, he would kind of tap on the trunk of Parvana's cab to let them know that they're coming up behind and not to be spooked.
Sage is going to get out when she hears that. She's going to slowly open the door to let them know she's doing it, not just suddenly hop out. She's going to get up and she's going to not take point. She's going to get right behind Anderson.
Be the fucking Scooby-Doo gang.
Is the entire
What's
roadway
Scooby-Doo?
is the entire roadway blocked?
It's blocked enough that you're not going to be able to get a car around because this is a thick tree lying on top of the hood of this car.
All right, then Parvana's gonna get out as well.
You could probably walk underneath it on either side because, like I said, it's sitting on the hood of the car, but you're not going to be able to get a vehicle around. All right, Scooby-Doo gang, walking up on the car. Give me spot hidden rolls.
Can I do one for Gwen too, since she's supposed to be looking out for spooky stuff?
Yeah, you can go ahead and give me a different. Wait till this round goes through,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, sweet. The person on point is the only one who sees shit.
okay.
Also,
That's good.
Make sure you point it
Jay
out
fumbled.
fast then.
Yeah, Jay did fumble.
I know.
Okay. Darby, why don't you give me your spot hidden roll real quick?
Is he going to trip over Sage for that or something?
Okay, Gwen, you see
Mhm.
nothing. Good
Okay.
job.
Thanks.
All right. Emilio, as you come around the car, you happen to glance sort of in the wrong direction and catch the headlights full blast in the dark. You are going to be temporarily stunned by that.
Ah, God, my eyes.
Gwen just mumbles something about dumbass. What the fuck are you looking in the lights for?
Out
Anderson,
of
though,
character, I don't know.
well, it's, you know, you catch it out of the corner of your eye kind of thing, and then you get the headlight full blast.
I
I've
just
done it
love
to
the
myself.
idea of like Gwen fucking sitting there watching this happen, and this man just like turns and like startles himself that the headlight is there. She's like, "What the fuck? Are you a professional? What is happening?"
He's part deer.
Yep.
I guess.
We've all been there before. Anyways, Anderson, as you kind of creep up on the car, you don't see anything moving from inside there, but you can very clearly see the body of the sheriff leaned over the fucking the wheel. Holy
Can I see
shit!
his
I had
face?
a stroke. No, you cannot. You
Can I
can
see the
him from
lack of a
behind.
face?
You can see a lot of blood all over the whole the dashboard.
Anderson's gonna train the gun on him, and hey Manson, can you
I would guess
break the window?
Manson's gonna kind of nod, and he kind of crouches down using the body of the car as basically visual cover before walking up and kind of looks at Anderson. He holds up 3 fingers, then 2, then just his index finger, and when that goes down, he hits the driver's side window with the hammer and just smashes it. It
Wait,
was
I
already
thought-
pretty well damaged, but it just completely shatters with the hammer.
I thought Gwen gave him the window breaking device, not the hammer.
It's a window breaking hammer. It's a pin loaded hammer.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify because she
No,
had a
you've still
hammer.
got the claw hammer. It's
Right.
a different kind of hammer.
I was gonna say
And
she
it's probably hasn't been invented by now, but fuck it, whatever. She got a extreme success on her luck roll.
It's a bone hurting. It's a glass hurting hammer, actually.
Yeah. But as the window shatters, you get kind of a better view. You can see that this man did have a face. In fact, you can still see pieces of his face. They're all over the dashboard. It would appear that after the tree came down on top of this cruiser, his head went into the steering wheel and just crumbled.
Buckle up.
Airbag failure.
So, question. Does it look like the tree was down and the car ran into it, or the tree fell on the car?
It looks like the tree fell on the car as it was going because it's sitting on top of the hood. It's not that he ran into the car. It's not that it's in the grill like he ran into it. It is sitting on top of the car, just like inches away from the windshield.
Would we be able to see how the tree fell?
You're gonna have to take a look at that. Right now, you're all hanging out around the car.
Emilio just kind of still rubbing his eyes, like, from that, turning around and looking at the bright lights of the cars behind him for some reason, and goes, I'm not a big forest guy, but that doesn't happen very often, does it?
No. And at this
like,
point,
that's a good shot.
Manson's kind of standing up, and he checks the driver's side door. It's locked. No, it's 1 in a million. But I'm willing to bet this is not a coincidence.
No.
Can I tell how fresh the body is? Like, or would that require to call Parvana over?
You could try, but it's going to require a roll.
Can I just interject real quick? If this guy dropped off Emilio and then was leaving the area, I'm assuming.
His body is that fresh.
Yeah, like
That's
I don't
actually
think he
very
took a
deductive skills.
detour.
Yeah, like we probably can get
Especially
roughly.
if this is like all rural up in the mountains. He had nowhere else to go from A to B here. Like that.
The question is more like, did this just happen, or did it happen like before this thing came after us?
But what I'm saying is like, if he was literally leaving the cabin and going back to civilization, and this is at a certain point in that A to B travel,
I
then
gotcha.
he literally, like, there are no variables. That's exactly when he was there. Because he has no reason to, like, go further than that and then come back, you know?
Yep, you're correct. I'm
So
sorry.
using the power of math,
Yes, that thing that I know nothing about.
about how long ago did this crash happen?
Couple of hours, because Amelia was dropped off, and well, I wouldn't say a couple of hours, an hour tops.
So before that thing came after us, then.
Yes.
Why roll when you can do math?
Man,
Smart
leave my
choice.
math skills alone.
Hey man, it's all good.
So I guess we should take a look at the fucking tree, right?
Yeah. First things first, though, and Manson reaches in the driver's side door, well, through the window, and unlocks the driver's side door. He pulls the door open and grabs the revolver off of the sheriff's hip. He might have a shotgun in the trunk. I mean, we really ought to try and get some weapons out of this, since sitting ducks on this fucking road.
Emilio crosses himself as the body comes out, and he goes, "Hey, he was an asshole, but you know, he didn't need to die."
Anderson goes ahead and pops the trunk using the button that's likely under the dash in the driver's side door.
Actually, I don't think a car would have that button this old.
More importantly, it's a cruiser, so it would be a
Yeah.
locked trunk.
Yeah, that's a locked trunk.
Imagine how easy. And also, if it's a shotgun, it should actually be between the driver and passenger seats, vertical.
Oh, that's right. Actually, that's
you
a
don't
fair
have
point.
to find a key or anything.
It wouldn't be in the trunk.
My memory is not serving me well. Was it just the sheriff, or was someone else with him, like another officer?
Nope, just the one, and
Okay.
Emilio.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, there would be a shotgun sitting between the driver and the passenger in its vertical locked position.
Can Anderson, are the keys in the car still?
Yeah, they're still in the ignition.
Do I need to unlock to get the unlock anything to get at the rifle?
No.
All right. Anderson's gonna pull out the rifle and
Well, you mean the
hand it
shotgun?
to. Well, yeah, that thing. Yeah, the fancy looking shiny thing that's a boomstick.
Ladies and gentlemen, our gun specialist.
Yeah. Fuck, we're
It's
fucked.
okay. I don't know planes.
Anyway, what I was gonna say was hands it to Emilio, and then she's gonna walk around to the trunk and start trying keys to get the trunk open to see if there's anything else they can use in there.
Give me a luck roll and do anything but fumble it.
Well, there you go.
You did it, Kayla!
I fucking hate this so much.
Can someone else take the keys from her and do it and try again?
No, because that was a fumble. That was the one
Aw.
thing I said you couldn't do.
I broke
Yeah.
the keys in the trunk, didn't I?
No, because I'm the one who made you roll for that. It's just going to take you a while to find the right key. This man has a very excessive key. He's got a lot of keys on the chain, including one that has a fluffy pink elephant on it, and you don't even bother trying that one. But you
That's
just
to his
kind of
backup pair of handcuffs.
you keep going
Oh my
through
god.
the key ring, and it's going to take you a little while. Anderson is currently occupied trying to get this trunk open, and she's going to be for a little while.
Fluffy pink
Meanwhile-
elephant.
Parvana will look to Manson and go, and considering a crash this sudden, a tree this large, even from the distance we were at, birds should have scattered. We should have had some notification of this happening, correct?
Manson nods slowly as he kind of goes through the sheriff's belt, grabbing a couple of speed loaders for the revolver.
So, unless we are in the business of solving ancient proverbs, something is very wrong with this forest.
Emilio stops for a second. He goes, "I get it."
I'd say the same thing in real life. That's amazing.
Amelia was dark as spirit animal.
Fuck off with that. That is not true at all. But I do like me some breadsticks.
Anyways,
I legitimately
Manson.
had something I wanted to say, and I don't remember what it is after that.
Manson kind of he slowly shakes his head as he pockets the extra ammunition for the revolver. By the way, Emilio, you got the shotgun.
Currently, yeah.
You've got 6 + 6 rounds for it.
All right.
Actually, it'd be
who is
5
the
plus.
nearest person around him? That's the next question.
Probably Sage.
Yeah.
Well, that's good luck. Emilio just hands the shotgun to Sage.
All right, Sage, you've got
Because Emilio doesn't know what the fuck to do with a shotgun.
Sage is going to quickly take a look at it. She is fairly familiar with shotgun. She's going to make sure it's nicely loaded and everything looks good.
yeah, you've got a 1897 shotgun. Old
Manson.
fashioned.
Were you stationed around here?
No, I've been further north. I've been here before for, Delta Green business. We've used that ranger station before, but it's not been like this. I can tell you that right now. It's not. These woods haven't been this fucking weird. I've been
Has
here
there
before.
been anything that's weird though?
Yeah, but not this weird. There's weird shit in every forest. I can tell you that right now as somebody who's been in a lot of fucking forests, but nothing like this. This is
Listen, far be it from me to interrupt, but shouldn't be trying to get the fuck out of here.
yes, we fucking should.
Okay,
We've
well
still
then
got-
someone give me a hand with this fucking tree, because I can't move it myself.
Sage is going to quickly go over and try and figure out how it fell down first,
You might,
and then she will help Emilio remove the tree.
can we enlist Alvar for this? Because he has like a ton of strength, and that might happen.
At seeing everybody trying to sort of get around and get under the log, Alvar would step out of the car and just, give Gwen a quick squeeze on the shoulder. Hang on, I'll be right back. And hop out of the car with Rocket close on his heels.
Listen, I think we need some kind of lever or something. Yeah, that's
How
literally
how
same
thick
thought.
is this tree, Locus? Is it like we're not talking a redwood here? Like how?
No, we're talking a pretty healthy pine. It's a big tree. You are probably going to need. You're either going to need an absolutely insane strength roll, or you're going to
Can I-
need to start thinking with tools.
Can I try for an absolutely insane strength roll?
You can try, but as always, there is the chance of failure.
Yeah, I know, but
Tree falls on
YOLO.
There you go.
Wow.
Reloading it, guys!
That would be a 1 in a million roll. I think
Gwyn
not
just
a 1 in a
Wow.
million.
lifts it above her head,
No, that's
spins it around.
Alvar. That's Alvar. That's her father.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
Alvar.
That's like the 7-foot man. He's got this. Like everyone else is just arguing about, we need a wedge. He just walks over and picks it the fuck up. I love this.
He's not going to be able to quite pick it the fuck up, but he's going to be able to get his shoulder under it, heft this thing off of the hood of the car, and as he gets it off, with the help of the others, they kind of bring it around and toss it into a ditch, with Alvar shouldering this thing. Most everybody's helping him by positive thoughts.
no, we're all hanging off the tree. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We were trying to move it. Alvar came up, lifted all of us and the tree, and then just sort of,
Yeah.
walked over to the ditch and threw us and the tree into it.
Yeah.
And Rocket is really happy because he thinks he's gonna throw the big stick for him now.
As you Anderson, you finally get the trunk open, you find the right key and pop the trunk, and you find absolutely nothing in it. It is completely empty.
Jack's
what I get for the
insta tree
fumble.
removal.
So you find some bat tree repellent on a utility belt in there. Anyways,
Rip
But-
Adam West.
Bat
Yeah.
tree repellent.
it's an Adam West joke. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
All right, sorry. I'll go back in
Anyways.
my hole.
As Alvar kind of claps his hands together and Manson's jaw literally hits the road in awe of this man actually picking up a full-grown fucking pine tree and tossing it. Rocket peels back his lips and begins growling at the darkness. He looks out into the woods on the passenger side of the road and begins that low, aggressive growl.
We still need to get the car out of the road, don't we? Or was it just the tree that was in our way and we can go around the car now?
You still need to get the car out of the road, otherwise you're going to be driving in a ditch. And that's going to be difficult. Then again, you do have one really good driver and the rolls have been pretty excellent tonight.
Well,
No,
we've had some
well,
really shitty ones, but then
That's
Alvar
true.
moved a tree with his own hands, so I don't know. It kind of evens out. Also, Gwen would presumably see this reaction from Rocket, unless
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
and you'd hear it
okay.
too. He's not being
Okay.
quiet.
Then
You're getting
she
the
would.
low defensive borks.
Then she would immediately just kind of yell out to Alvar, like, "Dad, something's wrong."
Anderson's got her gun out, and she's got it pointed in the direction that the dog is growling in.
Sage also has Sage has the shotgun she was handed, and she's pointed at wherever the dog's growling. And
would
she's
actually-
also going to make the mistake of doing a spot hidden check, and she's probably going to fail.
Yeah, go right ahead if you want to do a spot hidden. You don't see anything.
Gwen would actually hop out of the fucking car with the claw hammer and go to grab Rocket's harness. I'm assuming he doesn't have a leash on, otherwise it'd just be dragging on the ground. She just
No.
grab his harness so that he doesn't like take off.
Hey, Manson, if she throws the keys to him or hands them, whatever is safer, can you try to see if the car will move, the police cruiser here?
Manson kind of looks at the keys. He shakes his head and just leans in and puts the car into drive. Actually, no, it would still be in drive.
Mhm.
He's more or less just taking the foot off he takes the officer's foot off the brake and just starts to push it rather than getting it to start. Because more or less, this car, it's not going to run. The whole engine's caved in by this tree.
I did not realize that. So yeah, Anderson's just making bad observations today.
I mean, I could try to get Alvar to help him move the car.
Well, Manson's going to call out, Alvar, you big bastard, come help me push this.
Wait,
And-
wait.
Would you like
This is
another
a
strength roll?
sheriff's car, right?
Yes.
What about road flares?
That would have been in the trunk if she hadn't fumbled the
But where did they go, Lucas? That's what I'm asking.
Well, you'd have to look around for that.
Hang on.
Nope,
Wait,
I
I
see
don't need-
nothing.
Yeah.
I don't need another strength roll to just help push the car, do I?
If you want to do it quickly, you're going to need a strength roll.
Ah, shit.
It's not
alright.
going well for Mr. Manson.
Hey.
Amelia makes no attempt to volunteer to push anything.
Alvar's got this, guys!
As Alvar and
Sage
Manson
is too
get
busy
the car.
pointing her
Oh my
gun
God.
towards the whatever
That
the
was-
dog's.
Oh shit! That was actually Gwen's sheet, but it still passed. Alvar has 5 more than her in that stat, anyways. But
Okay.
oh well.
As Alvar and Manson push the car on the opposite side of the road, away from the on the opposite side, basically the ditch that the tree's not in. They're not pushing it on top of the tree. Rocket gets more agitated and starts to actually pull against Gwen with the harness. It's become more than a low growl at this point, and he's actually pulling and trying to get after whatever it is that nobody's succeeded a spot hidden roll to see what he's after, but he's now barking, growling, and tugging. And Gwen, I'm gonna need a strength check from you.
Oh shit! All right. Ha! Stay dog.
All right, hang on for that. That's actually going to be an opposed strength check. Although I really doubt he's going to beat a hard success.
If that dog with 35 strength fucking
No, it
oh thank
definitely doesn't.
Christ.
You more or less keep him from running off, but you don't really have control of him. He's still pulling after, going after whatever. But Anderson, you kind of look out over the yes, it does count, Anderson. You look out over the darkness and into the trees that Rocket is barking at and drawing everybody's attention to, and you realize something. An interesting realization that you'd had earlier, although applied to a different situation. There's nothing there. It's just empty space, dark trees. Even as far as your eye can see, even, and you'd have to assume that as far as Rocket can see too,
And
but
Gwen.
right. But
Okay.
there's just nothing out there.
Since it's a hard success,
what-
can I look behind in the area opposite that Doggo is barking in?
No.
Damn.
You made a
Okay.
check for one thing.
Gwen is gonna, I guess since she passed the strength roll, she is going to maneuver her grip on Rocket a little bit and try to get into his harness so that she can get out the little like 10 flashlight that's in there and shine it in that direction because she's having a hard time believing that there actually is nothing there.
Well, the pen flashlight isn't nearly as illuminating as you would have thought, but as Alvar and Manson sort of step up and realize that you're having even more trouble controlling the dog now, they're like, "What? Do you see something? Is there something out there?"
I don't fucking see a thing, but he's going crazy.
Same.
Hilarious.
What the? Hey, Rocket, boy! And Alvar kind of crouches down beside Rocket, making himself almost doing the right thing and trying to make himself appear smaller to calm down the dog. It's not working super great because even when he crouches down, the man's the size of a mountain. But he kind of strokes Rocket's head and, carefully tries to calm him down. And can you give me an animal handling roll from Alvar, please?
From Alvar. All right, 1 sec. Oh god, I didn't put much in there. Yeah. Oh.
That's well, you
hang
can spend
on.
luck on that. That's 6 luck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Okay.
spend luck.
As
So-
Alvar sort of runs his hand across Rocket's head, you can actually see the dog start to calm down, and he glances at the empty spot that he'd been so aggressively barking at, and then at Alvar, and then just sits down before popping right back up with a start as he hears something that all of you hear at once. No need for listen checks on this one. You hear the sound of metal grinding against metal with tremendous force. You hear something horrific coming from behind you, from that police cruiser. And as you would naturally whip around to look at this thing, you find that the driver's side door is now about 10 feet away from the car, out in the woods, with a heavy dent in a tree that it had collided with. Everybody give me a spot hidden check.
Hey, what is with these threes on these fuckers tonight?
Can I push that?
You can push that.
I guess I should do Rocket too, huh? Even though everyone else on my end.
Parvon is
I
still
mean-
pretty distracted.
Yeah, I mean, with all these successes, I wouldn't necessarily suggest pushing it, especially since you just failed it, which means you failed a
Damn
pushed
it.
roll. Guess who else is blinded by the headlights?
Okay. Well, I thought I was stunned. Blinded or stunned?
You are temporarily blinded.
Okie dokie then.
Alrighty. But those of you who passed your check, which is going to be, let's see.
Gwen and
here.
Alvar, I think, is just it.
No, I didn't.
Gwen, Emilio,
Oh, wait, Emilio, I didn't scroll it for that.
and yeah, Alvar. The sheriff's gone. Although some of the viscerum remains. the body that was sitting in the front seat of that car is gone. There's nothing but empty space.
Mother Mary, full of grace, what the fuck was that?
We need to get back in the car and actually fucking leave instead of dicking around here
That's
anymore.
what I've been saying. Let's get out of here.
Is the car out of the way?
Is the car out of the way? I was about to ask.
Yeah, Alvar man-moded it, remember?
Yep.
Get in the cars and go.
All right.
Yep.
Parvana's going to prime that shit to go.
Who can drive the Jeep?
That would,
We have Manson.
yeah, that'd be Manson.
Oh, I
Who
thought.
owns the
Oh,
car. Yeah, we
Wait,
didn't lose anybody.
oh, I thought Manson was the one that just got the.
No.
No, that was
That
the
was
sheriff.
the dead
body.
sheriff. The dead
Oh.
sheriff.
Oh,
We have a ranger, not a sheriff.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm getting confused.
It's all good. So anyways, everyone hops in the cars.
Okay. You would hop in the cars, and as you sort of, as you gun the engine and get ready, you look down the road and find the creature that had stalked you at the cabin once more. Standing in the middle of the road, illuminated by the headlights. You can see along the right side of its body is hunks of charred and blackened meat clinging to this sort of inhuman frame. Just blistered and blackened. The skull that's sitting on its shoulders with a neck that's far too long is cracked and burned. But on the left side and down the legs, you see fresh meat clinging to its frame. Untainted. New. But with scraps of uniform sticking to it. And it's going to raise one excessively long finger towards the cars. And I'm going to need everybody who is in the Jeep. Or, no, actually, the front car would
Parvana's car.
be, yeah, the front car would be Parvana's car. So who got in the car with Parvana?
I was in there originally, and I guess I'm in there again.
Yep, so
think
that's
it's
going to be
just her.
Parvana. Okay.
Unless, wait, I don't know where Emilio is, but other than
The
that.
two of you, roll luck for me.
Emilio was in Manson's car, or would have been going towards Manson's car.
Yep.
Okay.
What about me?
That's going to be you too, Parvana. Roll luck for me real quick.
I have a question before I roll luck. He's raising one finger.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to recognize this as spellcasting?
Oh, yeah.
Can I fight back in any way?
That depends on if the spell's being cast at you.
Quick question.
It is being cast at you. But yes, go ahead and quick question.
A cult of any use at the moment.
Actually, that would be a good roll. See if you've heard anything about a creature like this.
Nope.
Okay, you have not. All right.
Where's the
so,
chance?
Let's see here. I'm going to need, Parvana, you're going to need to make a power roll.
Jesus.
Wow.
I mean, she only has it pumped to 90 fucking 5.
Oh, that's still only a hard success. Okay. The air crackles with what you recognize as eldritch energy, the dark power source that things pull their might from. But Parvana's able to bear down, and before it can take the form that it wants and cast its bleakness upon the world, you're able to scatter it, send it reeling. And even as you do so, there's backlash against the creature. You can actually see from that finger it had imperiously cast towards you as it began its incantations. The flesh that had clung to it begins to peel back as if being projected away from the skeleton by a tremendous force, and it just scatters this whole arm from its the flesh off this arm. Go ahead and roll me 1d8 plus 2, Parvana. Okay. It takes 6 points of damage.
How big is it again?
Bigger than a person. It
Bigger
would
than a
probably be
person.
about 8 feet tall.
And it's in front of us, right? Or is it behind us?
It is in front of you. But as the meat peels away, you see sort of the true nature of this awful thing. And it's tricky because at first thought you might think it a shadow. It seems to be congealed blackness, like pitch underneath the viscera. But unlike the shadows cast by your headlights, this is something deeper and darker, something that seems to have its own pull and draws light in as if consuming it. And while it had mimicked human form with the whole fleshy armor, there's no such illusion beneath. What you see are strands of something that is incomprehensible. Sanity checks for everybody.
Oh, even the second card that didn't see it.
Oh, you still see it. It's
Oh.
not hiding.
Let's see. Oh, I only have 35 sanity. This is gonna go well. Yeah. Hang on. 2 more.
On the line.
Yep. So Anderson.
Thank God for Alvar not going off the rails again.
I
And,
internalized
okay.
it.
Glenn and the dog are fucking out of here.
Did you did roll your intelligence? So yeah, you've internalized it. Okay.
Oh, right. I have to roll intelligence again.
Yep. So that's going to be intelligence for Gwen and the dog.
That's no good.
That's not good.
Rocket is a smart boy. He's only got 35 intelligence. Oh, he's so good.
Okay, actually, yeah, he's going to take the minimum sanity, which is going to be 1d3 plus 1.
Alright.
And the other two are going to take 1d6 plus 2.
Alright, hang on a sec. 5, 2. And then Glenn is
Oh,
You lose 8
26
sanity,
plus
and
2.
that's
Oh,
pause
jeez.
for a bout of madness. All
Oh
right.
my god, that was mercifully low.
Okay, well, you don't have a bout of madness, but Anderson is, so let's turn on over to my favorite pages of the rules. I'm going to need another sanity check. Oh, wait, no, we've already done that part. Bout of madness. That's, yep, temporary insanity. Roll me 1d10, please.
Someone get the fucking gun away from her.
It's a 3. Oh, no.
To be fair, anything on that list would cause that response, really, if you think about it.
It really would. But Anderson, as you see this horrific thing in front of you, a red mist descends over your eyes and you find your heart filled with a terrible, fiery anger. Roll submachine gun for me, please.
Oh, son of a bitch.
you were so lucky.
And
Roll
we're
it
back to
again.
jamming the fucking guns. Oh!
Oh my god.
One more time. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and need everybody in the cruiser, or the Jeep. Give me a luck check.
Oh fuck, I just spent luck on making the dog sit. I hate my life.
Because as Anderson sees this thing,
Ah!
she tears through the front windshield with a burst from her submachine gun before turning it inside and raking the interior of the car with gunfire.
That's good. The dog doesn't have luck.
No.
Wait, who's in which car? This is where I'm confused now.
It's just Gwen, Alvar, and Rocket in the Jeep. You were walking up to it when this all happened. Parvana and Sage are in the front car.
Ah, okay.
That being said, there are shots that are going to whiz dangerously near your head.
Since Alvar passed that, can I do some sort of reactionary move on him?
No.
Okay.
You're going to still need to give me a Rocket's roll, though.
I just told you he doesn't have luck.
Oh, right, he doesn't have luck. Okay. In that case, as the gunfire first rakes over the driver's seat, sending Manson with an unmanly squeal clutching at a wound in his chest as he rolls out of the driver's seat and into the ditch beside the car. And the next spray of fire, unfortunately, hits Gwen. I'm going to need, let's see here. Where is Miss Brigitte character sheet?
Can you please not damage me that much? I took 1 point of damage already from tripping over my dog.
All right. So you take 4 points of damage, Miss Gwen.
All right. Let's see. Math. 7. I have 7 HP.
Though it doesn't happen often, can Emilio support Manson as he goes down?
Give me sort of a dex.
I was thinking more first aid. Like he was an infantryman way back in the day.
Yeah, actually.
Because he'd
as
be
he
applying
goes down,
pressure, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead and do a first aid check.
Nope. It was worth a try.
Alright. Yeah. While that's happening, Anderson, I'm going to need you to roll 1d10 for me, please. Oh. That red rage continues for Anderson. For the next 6 rounds, you're not able to tell the difference between friend and foe.
Okay, can Alvar fucking tackle her to the ground and take the gun away?
He is going to, well, he's not going to be able to tackle her to the ground, but after seeing
Well,
his daughter get shot, he, from the backseat, is going to attempt to disarm.
what would you like me to roll?
Give me a brawl.
Brawl. All right. Are you kidding me? He has 70 in the. All right. Fuck me.
It's a perfect 100.
That
It is a perfect 100. Tonight is the night of extremes, folks. Can I roll something for Rocket?
It's
You
not his
realize
turn
that,
yet.
like,
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
gonna
Oh, wait,
kill
there's your turn.
Alvar.
Hang
Can you
on.
fucking not? Because, like, this is now the second time, and I'm really starting to see a pattern, and I dislike this, Kayla.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Stop pointing your gun at my dad!
Give
I
me
like-
1d3, Anderson. Because as Alvar tries to get the gun out of his
Yeah.
face, Anderson realizes that, hey, the barrel on her submachine gun is made out of steel. Steel hurts when you smash it into somebody's cheek. It leaves a nasty cut, but only inflicts 1 point of damage on Alvar.
That's
It's okay,
lucky.
because he has 15 HP, because he's a fucking tank.
Rocket, on the other hand, is going to go for Anderson's leg. He's going to try to drag. Well, actually, he's going around the passenger side door and is going to grab at her arm. Not necessarily disarming her, but she's clearly the threat here. So he's going to do his police doggo duty and roll brawl for me.
I'm spending luck. Oh
You
shit,
can,
he
it's
doesn't have
combat.
luck. Can I?
It's also
oh,
combat.
Oh, you're right. All right,
There's
all right,
lots of
fine.
reasons.
I don't have any gold coins anymore either because I saved my dad's goddamn life. So.
Yep. Alrighty then. Okay.
Do we have a
I'm
turn
actually going
order
to need to put up
specifically?
the town
Yeah.
counter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't realize it was combat.
Yeah. Well, now it wasn't going to be, but then it literally became kind of
The shield
fucking
against
worst.
Anderson.
the kind of worst case scenario. God, this really was meant to be just me fucking with you guys mentally. I kind of wish I had a fucking map for this now.
Yeah, well,
All right. There aren't currently any tokens on this page that take a turn. Fuck's sake.
Can I just point out that literally every time I try to shoot the gun, I either don't do anything or try to murder everyone in the party.
no, Alvar. Specifically Alvar.
Hang on.
Hey, this time he jumped in front of the gun.
I'm going to fucking just jerry rig the shit out of this. So give me a moment, because
Yeah, don't worry, I'm just
you
bleeding
guys
to death.
surprised me.
I'm sorry.
Take
It's
your
not your
time.
fault.
I'm Swiss cheese now.
Are
Bye,
we
guys.
are we using the melee weapons count as firearms for weapons drawn?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Oh, then Glenn has a fucking hammer out.
Yeah, but hang on. First things first. I gotta
Yeah.
get everybody out here. Jay, you're just gonna use chase token for now.
I've lost several years and became better looking.
Yep.
Oh, I never made one for Emilio. I'm behind on Shield Against Midnight visuals. Sorry, folks.
And Doggo and Satan. Okay. All right. So hang on. Okay.
Doggo, Doggo and Satan. Doggo and Satan in the forest night. Doggo and Satan. If she stops shooting the gun, we'll be all right.
Dan, you get my vote for a gold coin tonight.
Yeah, no shit. Never let there be an awkward silence.
Yeah, I can't move my token. Just
I know. I'm at this point. I'm still just getting things set up.
These are very large cars. Like
I
this.
know. Shut up.
Okay. All right.
I'm
all right.
I'm doing it
He's
live.
improvising.
It's
Doing
okay,
it fucking
it's okay.
live.
It's all right. I'm not judging you.
Okay, so going to be Emilio, show nameplate. Okay, you should be able to have control of it now, Jay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you know what? I can give you a different token from the one shot to use, and it might probably work really well for Emilio.
It's fine.
That detective one. I know, but eventually it just saves me a bit of trouble.
You mean Strauss's father?
I don't remember. Hang on. Let me find where I put it.
This has become a shit show in a heartbeat.
Yes, it has.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's only entirely your fault.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm voting for that.
Locust can't kill us with any of his monsters. I roll a character that is literally going to kill everyone.
Yeah, good job on that.
I'm gonna put more beer in
It's
my
pretty
glass.
impressive.
That's a good idea.
I should start drinking.
I already did.
I don't know about exactly how your character looks, Jay, but is that in the right ballpark? Because I could recycle that.
Okay, hold on. It's closer, yes. It's not quite, but it's closer.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just like tweak that instead of making a new one from scratch, but well, you can talk about that later.
Locust, why you gotta do me like this?
I'm not the one who did you like this.
I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
You did this to yourself. All right, almost ready to start working on the next step of improvising a combat scene. Okay, let's see here, and then there's this Boyo. Yeah, you. And I just realized I set these up wrong again. God damn it. Hang on, because you should be able to see your fucking health, but you can't because I hit the wrong.
can.
I checked the wrong
No,
box.
I can see
can.
everyone's health.
Oh, okay. You
Yep.
can see everyone's health? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see everybody's health. That's
Okay.
Oh, Alvar needs a token too. Shit.
don't worry.
He's got a token. Well, oh, yeah.
Don't
No,
don't,
I mean, like, he
don't
needs
do any
an
extra
art
work.
token.
Yeah. Don't do any.
Fuck you, I'm gonna do so much extra work.
I was
You
just
might
gonna
die.
say until we know who's dead or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay. Emilio, what's your.
It's 50, but since he always has rings on, I guess it'd be 100.
Okay, so 100.
What's the stat roll?
You're looking at dexterity to determine turn order. Hang on, let me do all
Is
the
it-
NPCs first real quick, and then I'll get back to you guys. I just realized I should probably do that.
Is it double it if they have a weapon drawn?
No, it's add 50.
Add 50, okay.
Nathan's
Parvana.
hot dog meat walker.
She's got 70 dexterity. She has a car though.
That does not count as a weapon drawn. It's got to be melee or a gun. Sage,
I do have my shotgun out, and
what's your dexterity?
damn it, 45.
Okay, so you're at 95.
Yes.
Rawr.
Anderson,
What?
what's your dexterity?
46.
Okay, so you are at 96. All right, Gwen.
Gwen is in the lead with 120, including the weapon drawn bonus.
Cool. And what is Alvar's?
45 dexterity, and I think he had something in his hand from back at the cabin, but I don't remember what it was.
He
I thought it was
just
like a
tried to punch her,
screwdriver.
so for at the moment, no.
Okay, no, okay, 45 then. And the
Rockets.
dog is 70.
Man like a mountain.
Can like
Man
his
like a
hands
mountain who can move
be
some
melee
trees.
weapons? He just picks up the tree again and uses that to beat the shit out of this thing. Or Anderson.
Okay. Jesus.
Oh, some shit's about to go down.
Let's see. Gwen, you're up first.
Gwen is hurt.
You've been
Also-
shot.
Yeah, where have I been shot if it obviously wasn't fatal?
Don't say the shoulder. Don't say the shoulder.
Why?
It's taken a chunk off your ear.
My ear?
It's taken a chunk off your ear.
Half of your health was in your ear.
Fine, she's been shot in the fucking gut. Jesus Christ.
That's much worse.
Yeah. You bitch,
I mean,
you get
it's-
shot in the gut.
It's half.
Wait a minute, you
It's
bitch!
half.
I didn't bitch! Shoot him in the gut!
You were bitching
sure
about
that's
getting shot
coming.
in the ear.
Well,
That
I
can
mean,
be-
because you don't regrow
Also-
those, but whatever. She'll be Da Vinci or whatever.
Nope, you've been shot in the
Picard-
gut now.
Ah,
Also-
Fuck you, Jay.
You've got a major wound.
Yeah,
I went ahead and marked that on your sheet for you.
thanks. What is that? What's the significance of that?
It means if you go hit 0 HP, you could die. If you, okay, to back up, in the combat of Call of Cthulhu, if you just take repeated, like, 1 point of damage, like, say, Emilio completely fumbles repeatedly and just takes 1 point of damage after walking into a tree, like, it becomes a fucking sideshow stick where he's walking around and the rake hits him in the face because he stepped on it.
Next
If
week.
he- If he does that and hits 0 HP, he's at practically 0 risk of dying. Practically none. But if you take a major wound before you hit 0 HP, then you are at significant risk of dying.
Awesome.
So don't hit
Alright.
0 HP.
Fuck you, I'll do what I want. So let's see. Gwen's on the back seat, I guess, judging
Yep.
by where she is.
Alvar's kind of
And-
over the front seat trying to grab at the gun with his bleeding face.
Yeah. And Gwen is shot in the gut. All right. Well, like I have something I want to do, but if she's shot in the gut, I don't know how mobile she's gonna be just in the immediate area.
It's not going to be pleasant for her. But go ahead,
Okay.
tell me what you want to do, and we'll see about
Well,
things.
she was gonna try to kind of aid what Alvar's trying to do in like suppressing this fucking psychopath, but I don't know if like her getting up and kind of leaning over like that and grappling with this woman is going to be too unrealistic.
It's not going to be too unrealistic, but because you are trying to, one, wrestle around a very large man, and two, injured, you're going to take a penalty dice to do it.
Yeah,
You can
not
do
doing
it, but
Nope.
you're going to take a penalty dice.
that. Can she give her weapon to Alvar so that he has it when he comes around?
Yeah, that'd be a worthwhile turn.
Okay,
you-
then she would kind of push it into his hand so he has something to kind of. He's not going to hit her with it, but like grapple with her. It's
yeah, if
more
you say
th-
so.
I know, but like it's literally of no use to her if she's just sitting
Yes.
there bleeding in the back seat. So
I-
might as well.
Okay, would you also like to maybe take some cover?
Yeah, good call. Where the fuck would I do that? Should she just get down on the fucking floor of the car?
Or get outside of it and just huddle near one of the
Yeah.
wheels? Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna hang out over here.
Okay. So you're not quite in the ditch with Emilio and Manson, but
No, she's up against the car. She would just
Yeah.
be like with her back flat against the wheel. And I don't
Alright.
have to like
No, that's
roll
your
anything
turn.
medical.
That
I
is
know,
your
but I don't have to. I know. I'm saying I don't have to roll anything medical to say that she's trying to put pressure on her own wounds, right?
no, that's just purely, that's more or less aesthetic.
Okay, carry on then.
Anyways, Manson kind of very confused after getting shot out of the car, kind of reaches towards Emilio's hands that are holding onto the wound in his chest and says, "What the fuck just happened?" You can speak, Emilio.
You sure? Sorry.
Just saying.
Emilio just kind of has his hands like just after his failed first aid rolls, his hands are just covered in blood, and it's really bringing back some really pretty horrible memories for him. And he's kind of freaking out a little bit, but he just says, "She shot you. I thought you worked with these people."
I do. Why the fuck would she do that? And he kind of leans, cranes his head from the ditch and just shakes it. He's going to attempt to help with the putting pressure and do a first aid roll of his own.
Is Gwen in a position to be able to say anything?
Yeah, you could hear them talking. Talking is a free action.
Okay, okay. Then she would be answering what they said about why the fuck she would be shooting people, and she just goes, "She's fucking possessed again."
Emilio just runs again.
Again! And Gwen is also covered in blood.
Oh, fuck. Listen, I'm gonna go distract it. You all try to get her under control.
Oh, fuck. Manson just says as he kind of holds on to his chest to stem the bleeding as much as he can, but not really making any strides towards actually bandaging the wound or dealing with it. Emilio, you're up.
Okay, his hand's kind of covered with blood. He kind of flips the knife down into like a ice pick hold, and he kind of goes up against the car and starts moving up towards the beast up here.
Okay.
Because he can put two and two together. If this is the second time she's acted possessed, and this is the second time we've seen Mr. Meatbody,
Mr. Meat Body.
Mr. Meat
Mr.
Void in
Meat Body.
inner
Never
void.
mind. I'm not gonna say that on open
Hot
mic.
dog man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
Hot
I
dog man.
can I make an attack? Basically, he's gonna stay down
Yeah,
low.
go
and
beat
then-
that meat.
You absolutely can make an attack. Go ahead and roll your brawl.
Funny.
That would
I
be
That
agree.
is
Darby.
an extreme success.
And
so
it
that's going
impales.
to be,
Really beat that meat.
that is going to be an impale. So that's what your max damage, which is
I do see his health bars at full. Did I get my magic damage on that?
oh yeah, you got your magic damage on it. The thing is, you damaged his armor, not his health.
Okay.
Damage is 1d4 plus 2.
Okay, so 1d4 plus 2, so it's going to be 6 automatically, and then doubled because it's an impale. So 12.
I forget. I'm sorry. It's been a
Hang,
while.
hang on, I'm going to look it up real quick. Impale.
Emilio stabs a shadow void. Let's see how this plays out for him.
Let's see.
Emilio is definitely more bravado than intelligence. Actually,
You
no,
know
he
how
has
you
a lot.
said
He has
I
a lot of
am
intelligence.
darkness?
We need to be careful about that because now we got 2 of those assholes in here.
Let's see.
We don't need any more additional party members.
Also,
who
there's
are
like
just
potentially 4 people about to pile on Anderson. I didn't think I could help anymore.
I mean, that's probably fair, but actually,
Oh,
it's
okay,
really just
so-
one man and a
No,
dog.
you rolled a 5, so it's 11 damage.
Okay.
Because it's whatever you rolled
Max
plus
damage
the
plus
max
that.
damage on top of that.
Okay.
Okay, so you did 11 damage to it, and that's actually going to be enough to get rid of its armor. So it is out of armor. Oop, I hit the wrong button. And you are going to actually do 5 points of damage to its health.
Can Emilio write it? Like he runs up, stabs it,
Oh
and
my
just kind of
God.
like holds onto it and begins cursing in Italian as he's holding on to the back of it.
No.
Oh.
However, it's going to swing back at you with one big voidy hand as you get close to it. It's going to make an attempt to fight back.
Can we make it prosciutto that's hitting him?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well,
This is all Anderson's fault.
Let's see, that's going to
Toss the fucker.
Can we just fire her? She keeps
next week, Chase
shooting us.
returns after Emilio randomly dies.
And you're not wearing any armor, so you take 6 points of damage
Wait,
and now have a major
when
wound.
am I not wearing armor?
Oh, that's right. You are wearing armor.
Yeah,
That's right. I forgot. How much is your armor again?
6 points.
You don't take any damage. The thing casts its tremendous darkened hand as the meat seems to fall off the frame, the magic starting to fail, and it swings at you. But a very lucky thing happens. It only seems to strike across your suit where it had gotten torn earlier from that brawl in there where you had in the fight, your suit had been ripped and torn, and you very distinctly remember that's where it had gotten torn. The void beast doesn't touch you at all. It just seems to have hit this gap in your clothing. It's so very lucky that it did no damage to you, and that was just where your suit was torn earlier in the timeline.
It's gonna require a few minutes of thought of figuring that statement out, but go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
It makes sense if you
Anderson.
don't think about it.
There's fuckery at work. That's all I can say.
Okay.
All right. Anderson.
She is roaring, just raging, kicking, screaming, and she's she's gonna probably try to fire the gun off again.
Okay.
Thanks.
Who are you firing it off at?
Oh god.
So her rage is primarily going to be directed at the thing that, like, the first thing she saw. So, and I mean, her gun is still pointed forward, correct?
It's still pointed at Alvar.
So pointed at
Wait.
Alvar?
I thought she used like the butt of it to punch him in the face.
She
with it.
used the barrel to punch
Ah!
you in the face.
God damn it! Why Why can't my NPC stay alive?
I'm going to let you roll a luck check, Anderson. If you succeed, you can shoot at the meat thing. If you fail, you shoot it out. All right.
Oh, that's nice.
You are
Thanks.
going to take a penalty dice because you are shooting through another car, but otherwise you can shoot at it.
And apparently between
I was gonna
Parvana
say-
and Sage.
Still a success.
That is still a success. Okay, hang on. I need to take a look at your submachine gun skill because so far I've been really nice about it and not been using the burst fire rules. But since you're now shooting at the thing you want to be shooting at, I am going to use the burst fire rules.
Thanks,
Your
GM.
submachine gun skill is 84, which means it's a burst of 8 shots, and half of them would hit. So that's 4 shots that impact. Well then, as the bullets sort of, the poor taxi in front of you is now full of broken glass as she shoots through one windshield. Well, actually, she's shooting through 3 windshields to get at you. 1, 2, oh, I can't. 2, 3. She's going to, yeah.
I like to imagine that, and Sage is like, ooh, some chips.
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh god, that killed me. Alright.
All right. Gunfire scythes through the taxi car, sending shattered glass all over every seat and peppering Parvana and Sage harmlessly but upsettingly. You see the bullets impact the creature, but they don't seem to do the impact damage you would expect. 4 hits. All right. That's going to be Sage's turn.
Sage has your shotgun. She's going to use it on the thing, especially now with the glass all nice and shattered for her.
All right, go right ahead. Roll a shotgun, and at this range, you're going to get a bonus dice. This is basically point blank range.
You have to roll the multiple or twice.
Yeah, you got to roll the. Yeah, you're gonna have to roll again because you had the bonus dice. You miss, unfortunately. And you do not get to push that in combat.
No, that I would not have pushed.
Yeah. And then it's the creature's turn. And it doesn't react the way you would think an animal would react. There's no cry of pain, no scream, no sort of... It doesn't recoil from the damage that's been inflicted upon it, as its true form, now shed of the flesh, is revealed as this pulsating black shape. Not taking a form like a person, but just this light-absorbing darkness. And as Emilio drives his dagger into it, you can see, you start to open up gaps that you can see through into this. And it does have a very tangible feel, although it's more like cutting through paper. It doesn't offer a lot of resistance. There is a physical form there, but it's not flesh and bone. And it turns towards, well, it regards Emilio in its own inhuman way. And it's going to attempt to cast a spell. Oh, I opened the wrong character sheet. Emilio, would you go ahead and roll willpower for me, though, please? It's a hard success. And unfortunately, it got a hard success as well.
It had an easier
Emilio's
time
just
of
lower.
it.
It does mean, yep, it does mean a tie. But it, this
Well,
point. Let's see.
if Emilio's was lower, does that not?
No, it
Put
doesn't
him as
matter.
No.
Yeah, it's
No, it
hard.
doesn't
It's
matter.
it has to. It's the type of success.
Yeah,
Mm,
It's more impressive. I made it, but it's not.
It is
doesn't,
more
doesn't
impressive.
mechanically matter.
and
Yeah, okay.
mechanically in spellcrafting, it goes to the aggressor when it's a tie.
What kind
It
of
goes to-
asshole GM makes monsters win on ties?
Oh my
Yo!
god.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, he just saved my dad's life. Can you shut the fuck up?
Alrighty. In that case, my brain's gonna die here.
I'm waiting to die here, Locust. Come on.
Oh, you're not gonna die. But Emilio, standing off to the side of the car, you can see in the same fashion that the meat had peeled away from this creature's hand or finger, quote unquote, earlier. It now your skin begins to peel away from your hand with that same sort of explosive force, shredding off like the layers coming undone, and then the meat underneath that, and it all detonates away like there's this great force inside of you just blasting you apart into your very being. And all of you witness this. You witness Emilio going off like this meat grenade before reality itself decides, something's wrong, and snaps back, leaving Emilio standing there unharmed, but having just very vividly remembered what happened to him. That's going to be a hard sanity check on everyone who saw that. And Emilio, you're going to take an extreme sanity check.
I don't think Gwen was
Not an
looking that
extreme.
way.
It's not
I
an
think-
extreme.
Anderson was.
Alvar's busy.
You said it had to be a hard success.
It has to be a hard success on this one.
Carvana continues not to fuck around.
Yeah, Parvana doesn't give a shit. Okay.
Yeah, everyone on my end is preoccupied.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Anderson.
You want me to roll intelligence too?
Yes, please.
I knew that was gonna happen with an 85 anyways.
Yeah. It's the one problem with high intelligence. Okay, so Parvana doesn't give a shit. Sage, I need an intelligence roll from you. Anderson, I already got your intelligence roll. And you can go ahead and. Why did you roll 1d6 plus 2?
Because I assumed that means I take damage.
No, you take sanity loss, but it was just going to be 1d6 sanity loss, so you're only going to take 3 sanity loss. Everybody who witnessed that takes 1d6 sanity loss, since you all more or less failed. Although, actually, no, Sage, you failed your intelligence roll, so you're just going to take the minimum, which is going to be 1d3 plus 1.
What about me?
Yeah, I'm going to deal with
Cool.
that real quick. All right, so Sage, you took 1d3 plus 1. Okay. You're also going to take that, Parvana, because that's the minimum, even though you passed your sanity check. And that's everybody who's paying attention to this.
1d3 plus 1?
Yes, please. Okay, you're going to take 4 sanity loss. And Jay,
Wait.
you're going to take...
I thought Dan passed his sanity check.
Yeah, but it's a minimum.
Oh.
There can be sanity. There are some events that are so horrifying that even if you can collect yourself, it's still going to hurt your mind.
I
Gotcha.
probably could have made an argument if I had an extreme, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on. Sorry.
Anyways, Emilio, you're going to take 1d8 plus 2. That's actually
Four.
a pretty good roll, all
It
things
is.
considered.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you
1
took the
point
same
away from
amount of
minimum.
damage. You
Yeah.
took the same amount of damage as me.
All right, that's pretty good. All right, and we have no more bouts of madness. But the thing, after having cast its spell, begins to shuffle off towards the passenger side. Well, not shuffle. It doesn't walk. It floats pretentiously.
Faustus?
No, he's back.
Anyways, it begins to retreat towards the wood line. It's falling back into the darkness. Not quite out of your sight yet, but it would be fairly easy to lose this creature if allowed to retreat much further. Rocket, you're up.
All right. Well, as ideal as it would be to go stop this thing from fucking off, he is not thinking like that. He's gonna. I mean, did he get a grip on Anderson last time and just
No,
failed
he
to
failed
properly
his.
grapple her?
No,
Okay.
he failed his roll. She was able to fend him off. He's just kind of sitting there borking at her now.
All right. Can he lunge again, aiming to bite the gun and not her?
That would count as a combat maneuver. Yes,
Right. But I mean, like, yeah. Okay.
yes, go for it.
The point being
Yes,
to.
roll brawl.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling down. Fighting brawl.
All
That's
right,
his
you've
gun
got a
now.
hold of the gun.
He wants it.
Anderson, you've got a doggo grappled onto your gun right now. How do you react?
Anderson's like seeing this thing shuffle off. Her eyes have been on it this whole time, and she is like lunging, trying to get out of the car, trying to rip the gun away from the dog.
Okay, you're gonna try and rip it away. I'm gonna need you to give me a brawl check.
It's gonna. This is gonna.
You
get
have to
bad.
beat an extreme.
I know. I know.
He wants that chew toy.
You don't beat an extreme. So Rocket is firmly latched onto your gun. You have right now no control over it. It's still in your hand, but you have no control over the gun at this point.
Can I drag the dog and the gun with me out of the car?
Not when it's not your turn. Parvana.
All right, where is Emilio exactly?
He's right outside your driver's side door. He just kicked the crap out of this thing in melee.
All right, could I turn the car towards it without hitting Emilio?
Yes, you could.
I'm not going to go after it. She's just going to try to quickly turn it towards it, turn on the high beam so it illuminates it while it goes into the woods.
Okay.
And then she's going to take it, like knowing there is gunfire, and just pretty much open the door and turn to Emilio. Is anybody shot? Is anybody injured?
Yes.
Emilio points back to the ditch. Manson and Gwen. Actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. He just immediately recovered from having his hand blown off. He goes, ah!
Yeah, that's the appropriate response.
It's okay, Gwen.
It's gonna be like that till his turn. Sorry.
Yep. Alvar's turn. He's-
Wait.
Oh no, you're.
Yeah. So is that all I can do? Turn the car?
Depends. That's pretty. If you want to like get out of the car and go over to them, that's just movement. Yeah, you could do that.
I was gonna pretty much take the car as cover, knowing that there's gunfire. No,
Yeah, you could do that. You could
knowing
ask.
that it's gunfire, and just if Emilio's not getting anything, she's just gonna kind of lightly push his shoulder out of the way, because apparently she doesn't give a fuck about anything,
Yeah, no shit.
and then just try to survey the scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Would she see Manson?
Oh, absolutely. That's not going to require any kind of roll. He's
How-
light up in a ditch.
How bad does he look?
He's not dying. You can tell that right off the bat. He's not shot in a vital area. That being said, he's not good either. He's been shot. It's not pretty.
All right, so the car is illuminating the thing. She has a bead on the situation.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Now it's going to be Alvar's turn. And while Anderson is trying to wrestle around with the dog and get out the door, he's going to attempt to wrap his big, meaty, log-lifting arm around her neck and choke the shit out of her.
Give it to her, Paul Bunyan.
Okay, do I need a roll brawl?
Yeah, roll brawl for me, please.
Okay. You wouldn't be trying to kill her, you know.
I know. He's
Okay.
not. He's
Gotcha.
trying to grapple her.
Wolves of
Just double
Extreme
checking.
squeezes her
Are
head like a
you
tomato.
kidding me? He can lift up a tree, but he can't put his arm around a woman.
It's
Well,
tight
he's-
spaces. He's a giant guy.
Yeah.
All right, that's actually a
completely
really
reasonable.
good point.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I can't make a fucking lumberjack waltz reference because nobody's fucking Canadian other than me.
All right.
I was okay. Okay.
But that, I mean, unless he's going to do anything else, Gwen?
I mean, I was thinking that he would just reach to try and get the gun away, but if you wanted him to do that, that's fine. That's his turn.
Well, he's really not going to be able to do that with Rocket grabbing onto it.
Okay.
All right, Gwen, your turn.
I'm just gonna kind of bleed in the dirt here for a while. Trying to think if there's anything I can actually accomplish here.
Also, that has been one complete round, which brings us, considering that there was some combat before actual combat started, that's 2 rounds down.
Oh Jesus.
So
It's gonna
4
take
rounds of Anderson insanity to go.
No, Dan. His wife died like 20 years ago. He doesn't know what a woman is.
Wow.
So, shit. I guess she can't really do much. Well, hang on. Let me look at something real quick. Okay, I've got 30 in first aid. Can she try to stop her bleeding?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, that's still on Alpha. Hang on. Got 3 characters I'm juggling. Ah, shit. All right, so she's doing nothing. She just basically makes sure Parvana had seen her just say something, but other than that, she's just sitting there, still pretty stunned that she has holes in her gut.
Yeah.
The end.
Manson lying in the ditch just kind of calls out to Parvana, I'm hit. Fuck. And
Can I response? Response?
talking is a free action.
Yeah, she
As long as
says,
you guys aren't holding, conversations.
on my way.
Manson just kind
It's
of
so calm.
just his head hits the back of the ditch and he opts to stay put where he is. He's just gonna lie down and he's gonna stay.
One moment, please.
Melio, you're up. You just more or less beat the crap out of this thing and now it's running away from you.
Emilio has his hand like stretched out because that's pretty much how the vision in his mind happened, where his arm started exploding, and he's screaming for a second more until his vision clears and he realizes his hand is still there, he still has the knife, and this fucker is still in front of him, and rage just takes over this 280-pound Italian man and he starts chasing the thing down.
You've got a good sight of it considering the high beams. So if you
And
wanna
he's gonna jump on it and stab at thee.
Okay, go right ahead. That is not quite a hard success.
No.
That is a success. It is going to attempt to dodge this time. As soon as I find that on its character sheet. All right.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it does successfully dodge.
So was this thing made out of leftover parts of fog monkeys, or is it just...
It's made out of leftover fuck you.
Zing.
But otherwise, where the blade would be, you kind of see the vapors of this creature part and then reform after the blade has passed. Anderson.
Anderson is just not having any of this bullshit of people trying to take the gun away from her. She is still screaming her head off. And given that she can't get the gun away from the dog, she is just going to try to take the dog and herself, kick the door open of the car, and start dragging it over to where this monster is. So she's going to try to go like over here-ish.
You're gonna need to make a strength check before you make a move, because this is a full-grown
Yep.
German sheepdog you're dragging along.
Yeah, that's why I only moved her temporarily. I forgot how to ping.
Hold down, click for reference.
And Rocket's gonna try to resist you.
All right. Do you want me to roll
I
strength?
already got it.
Okay.
Not a harm.
No,
Oh,
I think she
God.
got it.
Well, it's there. Oh no, she got a hard success. Yeah,
Yeah.
you drag the dog with you.
He's trying to go.
You're not going very far though, but yep. There you go. And more or less that's going to be your turn, because it's kind of difficult dragging an aggressive German Shepherd along.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've lost where I had. Where did the turn counter go?
I don't know. It ran
You
away.
want close it, you can just click
Oh.
it back up.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sage,
back.
you're up.
I'm gonna do what I did the last turn. I'm gonna try and shoot this thing again.
Okay. At this point, I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate the distance because I didn't build this shit to scale. You still get a bonus dice at it, because
These cars are 25 feet long.
hush.
There we go.
That'll do it. All right, so that's gonna be.
Turn counter vanished again.
Shit, I keep forgetting. I can't close that. All
Should
right.
be 46 at point blank.
It should be 46, but the thing is, this creature isn't exactly the same as a normal creature.
Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying is usually. Oh, never mind. Whatever.
Yeah. That being said, there's really not rule, because it's supposed to take 1 point of damage for every projectile. That's why Anderson's volley did 4 damage when it hit with 4 projectiles. There aren't really rules for shotguns.
9 pellets.
9 pellets works.
.36 diameter lead balls, 9 pellets.
Okay.
If it's a police riot shotgun, that's roughly what it would have in it.
Okay. That works for me.
Actually, 8, 9 depends on how it's wadded.
I'm just gonna give you the full 9 at this point. But yeah, that thing takes a devastating blast from this shotgun. Leaves Emilio's ears ringing.
Sorry, Emilio.
All right. Now it's the Meat Walker's turn. Let's see what I have up my sleeve. Okay. Give me just a moment. All right. You see sort of the shape of this awful creature, sort of weakened, and it's almost like smoking at this point, vapor coming off of the main body and wisping away into nothingness. But it gathers what little of its strength remains, and from that deep pit of all consuming blackness spills forth a gray fog, filling up. Hang on, I'm gonna need to draw a shape. How is it that you do ovals again? There we go. That's how it's done. Okay.
Big
Should not
pink
be fucking
fog.
pink. It should not be fucking pink. But it
It's a ray.
throws up a tremendous. I should not have done this so close to the top of the screen. Whatever. Throws up a tremendous thick fog, shielding the creature and Emilio from sight. And still attempts to flee.
Is it a squid?
Yes. It's a
Sort of.
meat squid.
I
Sort of.
think this is a squid.
Land meat squid.
It's a void squid.
All right, Rocket, give me a brawl roll.
What is he trying to do?
He's going to disarm Anderson. Actually, pull the
Okay.
gun out of her hand at this point. Now that he's got a whole grip on it.
Oh, thank God. Yes, he's gone.
Anderson, how do you respond?
Anderson is going to, let's see here. It's trying to wrench it out of her hands, right?
It's
Yeah,
about to succeed, yeah.
doing a damn good job too.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think she's gonna try to do anything other than try to keep a hold of the gun. Maybe like a shot burst, but I mean the dog's holding onto the side, so it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
All right,
You're not gonna...
real quick. Since you are still insane. Oh no. The dog gets the gun away from Anderson, but in a fit of her anger, she attempts to kick the dog.
Good thing that I have sucky brawl.
Yep, it doesn't work.
It just skids through open air. The dog is just as confused as everyone else.
All right.
Oh yeah, can I? Oh, wait.
Parvana.
While it's still his turn, can he like book it?
Oh yeah, he totally could book it. Yeah, go
All right,
ahead.
he's getting the fuck away from her, and he's got his fucking gun now. He's gonna go chew on it. He's real happy.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
It's your turn, Parvana.
When that fog comes up, does she feel the magics in the air?
You do feel the magic's in the air.
She looks to the fog, and then to Manson, and then to the fog, and then to Manson, and kind of forces herself back to kind of the, no, I'm a doctor, I need to help somebody instincts, and runs to Manson and tries to perform some medicine on him.
All right. You know what to do, my friend. That's a hard success. Give me 1d3.
Hey,
Booyah. All right.
can you rub some of that good luck on me?
And while she's doing so, it's like, what happened in there? Please tell.
Anderson fucking went nuts again.
She fucking shot us.
Could have her mind again.
Christ. Thought she'd be more reliable. Jesus fucking hell.
This is the nightmare, Manson. This is the nightmare.
Manson nods. And it becomes Alvar's turn, who has been kind of left behind, but
Yeah.
you can see Rocket bounding away with a submachine gun between his jaws.
The way
Yeah, he's
Parvana
gonna-
said that, it almost is like, shh, shh, sleep now.
Yeah.
Sleep now, Mason. Then she offs him right there on the side of the road.
Yep.
She kills Manson, fuels the power to banish the meat walker.
Alvar is gonna basically scramble out of the car and take off after the dog. And would just a simple like, here boy, be an animal handling?
Not really.
Okay.
Now that he's separated from a stressful
Yeah.
situation, it's not going to be that much of a deal to get him to come.
Okay, so he's gonna get to where the dog is, do a little drop it and get that gun out of his mouth. I didn't mean to ping.
Yep.
And then he's gonna immediately turn and try to get towards Gwen, who I'm assuming he's smart enough to figure is on the other side of the car. And then is it okay in that same turn to move him all the way over here?
Yeah,
that's,
but
like,
that's
all
going
he's
to be
doing?
all your turn. That's going to
Yeah.
be all your turn.
Yeah, okay. Then that's all his turn.
And now it's
Yeah.
Gwen's turn.
And Gwen is still fucking useless. I guess she could try to fucking do first aid again. Shit, hang on. Let me just kill myself here.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you can't try first aid again on an
Oh, I
insane
can't?
one. Yeah.
All right, never mind that. I'm not gonna do that. She's just gonna sit there and be stunned. I've done so much this combat turn.
Well, at least I got one of you to go crazy. I was hoping for the whole party to go insane.
Well, I mean, you almost got like half the party killed. I think that's a good
That's true, yeah.
compromise.
Well, it was a good time.
I'm amazed Gwen has made it this far, and this is the first time she's had a bullet in her.
Yeah. All right. So more or less your turn's going to be sit and rest.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
Just shock and petting each other. Yeah, pretty much.
I will give you like a bonus if anything comes your way, but really I
That'd
think
be dope.
yeah. with Parvana's help, Manson kind of sits up and he thanks her. He says, "Oh my God, they weren't joking about how well you work."
Well, I try.
And he would kind of holding his chest, still in pain, but he would step up out of the ditch and lean on the hood of the car to look out and see this big fat cloud of gas, and he's going to attempt to see the creature, which is going to require spot hidden with the thick cloud.
Ink
Oh, that's the wrong
T.
shit.
HICCCLOUD.
Oh my God, really?
And as he actually catches the undulating and shifting and destabilizing shape of this creature in the darkness, he's going to stick his hand out and point at it and say, there it is. And anybody else trying to see this thing is going to get a bonus dice because of his help. Speaking of, Emilio, this thing has kind of given you the slip in this fat ink cloud, the thick cloud.
The thing is, you don't need to see very well if you're just gonna run straight forward. Because we have no more forest to run into.
Yeah, but it's more or less, if you want to actually try to chase this thing down and, get that coup de grace, it's going to be a spot hit first.
Okay.
But you do get that bonus dice because it's been pointed out.
Okay, there we go.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so you see it. Go ahead and make your attack. You can get at it and chase it down.
Angry Italian man jumps and attempts to stab at thee once again.
Okay, it is gonna attempt to dodge.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Does it have to roll spot hits in to see me? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
See the
It can
man
s-
throwing
it
a
can
knife at it?
Not
It can
throwing,
smell
running.
the marinara coming right
Oh.
after it.
Oh, that's horrible.
All right, so it is. I always forget where dodge is. That
Tied.
goes to you.
Yeah.
That
there
goes
go.
to you. So go ahead and you did 7 damage.
I did.
It evaporates in a black puff. Just you carve through that weird, spongy, light absorbing material, and it just seems to dissolve like the diesel fumes off of a tractor trailer.
So we're on the other side of the road at this point, right? Because we're assuming
you're-
there's the road, you got ditch on one side. Is there a ditch on the other two, or is it just...
Yeah, there's a ditch on both sides. This would be the ditch that the tree is lying in.
Okay. Literally, Emilio just sitting on top of it is just repeatedly stabbing at the skeleton, trying to break every bone that had been brought together in this strange meat thing's body. Like, if there's any meat left, it has been pierced and
Diced.
ripped and cut, and just whatever effluence is there may be all over him, but he is just in a rage, punching and stabbing at what remains of this thing in the ditch.
You got some fine bone powder left. All right. And as a little bit of clarity begins to settle into Anderson, but that rage remains, I think we're going to go ahead and call it tonight because that was a good combat. So we are at our end. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for showing up. I hope you all have a lovely evening.
Nice.